is advised.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Board Games Unlocked, and today I'm doing a no run-through review over Res Arcana, which is Tom Lehman's newest game. Now, the reason why I'm doing a no run-through review over this game is not because it's bad, it's because it's a straightforward just card game. Like, there's nothing that is like really that flashy or anything, so it makes doing a run-through quite difficult, mainly because of just camera angles and all that. So I figured it'd be easier just to talk about the game and even show a little bit about like what it does and what makes it unique. So first of all, I have to say this game is fantastic. I think this game is awesome. Like it's one of the new, like, to me it was like one of the freshest card games that have has come out in quite some time. Now, what makes this game so unique is because it does it's an engine building card game. So Tom Lehman, I mean, is kind of known for engine building games. So whenever I heard about this, I was like, you know what? Yeah, I'll give it a shot. And whenever I got it, the first time I played it, I was like, okay, I think I'm starting to get it. And then the next few times that I played, I'm like, this is amazing. So what makes this game different from a lot of other engine builders? Well, the main crux of this is that you will only ever have 8 cards in this game. So whenever you are playing, whenever you're setting up the game, you're gonna, oh, and also the insert is phenomenal. Like, all the resources come already in this tray, and then they're fit nicely into the box. So that's just a side note that is amazing. But the game will only ever come with this many what they call artifacts. Now you might be thinking, well, that's not that much. Well, here's the thing. The game plays up to 4, and each person will get 8 cards. And not 8 cards that they're choosing. You will shuffle these cards and actually deal everyone 8. And what they will do is they'll look through their 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 cards, and they're going to look through and be like, okay, so I have this, and then this is this. So you are trying to understand what your 8 cards do at the beginning of the game. And it's like, okay, well, that allows me to get some resources, which I can then use to spend on this, and then this is going to protect me from this, and oh, here's my gold generator, and all that. And you're trying to figure out the best possible engine for your 8 cards. So and then what you will do is you'll shuffle your 8 cards, and then you will draw 3. So you know what is in your deck and how it's best used, but you don't know in what order it's going to come in. And in my experience, I've always, towards the end of the game, been able to get all 8 of my cards out, but then it's just a matter of, okay, this is what I'm going to do to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this. Like, it's an engine builder. So hopefully you have come up with a pretty good way of, okay, I'm going to use this to attack you, and then I'm going to get this and all these resources to buy this, and that's that. Like, it may seem super simple, and it is for the most part, but there's just something so satisfying about being able to get your engine running and figuring out the most efficient way to use your 8 cards, more so than the other players. Because how you win this game is by getting 10 points. And there's a variety of ways to do this. Some cards, some artifacts give you points. Like most creatures, like this fire dragon, will just inherently give you a point. If you're the first person to pass, you become first player, and that inherently gives you a point. But a lot of ways that you are going to get points is actually through monuments. And monuments give you special abilities, and they also give you points, and they all cost 4 gold. Now, there are ways to get gold. One of my favorite ways that I've done was literally just there's an Athenor, this card right here. What this card does is you tap it, you exhaust it or turn over to put fire on it, and well, it's not. It's called Elan, and you get rid of an Elan to put 2 on it, and then over time you turn over this one, get rid of 6 from this card to convert any other resource into gold, like an equal amount of gold. So basically what I have done with this is I basically just spent most of my cards and my engine just getting me even more fire, and I converted 20 elan into 20 gold. It took some time in doing so, but then I was able to just buy a whole bunch of monuments and win the game that way. Because they all cost 4 gold, so I was able to get 4 monuments. And it's first person. It's not first person to 10. It's whenever everyone passes, you check to see if anyone has hit 10 victory points, and then whoever it has will win. But some of these will, like, this one, the Mausoleum allows you to get rid of any good and put a death on this, a death essence on it. Some, just whenever you buy it, you just get any 6 resources, not including gold. Golden Statue, whenever you're checking victory, you can get rid of this and get rid of 3 gold to just get 3 points. So there's quite a few of these. And there's only ever 2 showing at any given time, and most engines take a while to actually generate enough gold. Like, you can probably get 4, and then it'll take you some time to get 4 more. So the monuments are also there, but then there are these places of power, and these things are another way that you can go for a victory point, but they cost quite a few essence. Like the catacombs of the dead cost 9 death, but every turn you're going to generate more death, and you can get rid of 5 death to put more on this, and then you have a point for each death you have on the catacombs of the dead. There's this coral castle that you can just tap it to check for victory now. So if you know for a fact that you will get 10 points quicker than they can, then you can check for victory and then immediately win. Gives you 3 points. And these are double-sided as well, so the game comes with essentially 10, and you can mix and match. Like the Alchemist Tower costs 3 gold to get, which is actually one of the cheapest to actually buy, because like the Sorcerer's Bestiary, 4 life, 2 elan, 2 water, and 2 death to get, so that's going to take some time. But the Alchemist Tower is you are able to get rid of 1 of each type of good, except for gold, to put a gold on this, and then you get a point for each gold. So there's just multiple ways to actually generate points, and I just love, like, I absolutely love the engine building. Like, engine builders are something that I'm slowly, not really coming around to, but realizing that I love. And the people that are on the channel with me, they are like, they always like give me crap because they're like, well, I know Seth is going to build some sort of engine, so I have to figure out a way to stop it. And I'm like, what? And it turns out, yeah, I usually try to figure out a good way to just get a system going, and then just, oh, hey, this is going to be my resource producer, which will let me do all this. This game is awesome, and not only that, you have a mage, like that will give you a special ability. So you have like an artificer, so he places all your cards at 1 less resource. You have a transmuter that can turn any 2. You tap her, get rid of any 2 goods to get any 3 goods, not including gold. So you have some more control. You have a Scholar that allows you to draw cards. You have a Necromancer that allows you to get rid of 2 life for 3 death, and she allows you to generate a death. An Alchemist pretty much does what these magic items do, which I'll get to those in a sec, but he allows you to get gold. So at the beginning of the game, you'll draw 2 of these and pick which one you want after being able to figure out what your deck's about. So you also have those. How many of them are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 of them. Then you have these magic items that at the end of every round you can. You're going to start with 1, but then you can, if you start realizing, okay, well, I don't really need this magic item anymore, you can swap it out. There's Alchemy. Tap this, get rid of any 4 essence to get 2 gold. Reanimate allows you to untap some of your stuff. You have Calm and Elan, so at the collection phase you get 1 of those. You have Death and Life, allows you to get some resources. Transmutation allows you to turn any 3. So there are ways, and here's the thing. So a lot of people, well, maybe not a lot of people, but a negative that I can hear about this game, Res Arcana, is that, and you probably were thinking it as soon as I mentioned that you shuffle those decks of artifacts and everyone gets 8, and that's what you have for the, like, that's what you'll have for the entire game. a lot of people are going to be like, well, then other people are just going to get lucky. Like, and I can kind of attest to that. There was one game I was playing where me and the other person, he had some cards that dealt with dragons, and he didn't have any dragons in his deck. Whereas I actually had, like, ways to tap stuff for gold and then untap them, and I was able to just, I had a gold engine. And initially, I would agree with you. And yes, I would say that can kind of happen, but here's my counter argument to that. Is one, you look at your deck, like the entire, like at the very beginning, before you even start playing, you look at it. So, so you know, okay, well, here's a dragon card that allows you to place dragons cheaper. Okay, I actually don't have any dragons in my deck, so how else can I utilize my 7 cards? Hell, even the dragon card that made things cheaper gave you a point, so just get that out. Bam, I have 2, I mean, I have a point already. But then you have to utilize everything else better, alright? So you're not surprised. It's not like one of those games where you're buying, or where you have a deck of cards and then as you're playing the game you realize that a strategy you were going for the entire game isn't even possible. You know way up front what your 8 cards can do. So you have to formulate a different strategy. You have to be like, okay, well, I can't do this, but here are magic items, so I'm going to utilize this magic item. Like, if you don't have a gold engine, but you have, like, an essence engine, and that's what he had. Like, he had way more, actually, in almost all the games that I've had, everyone I was playing against always had an essence engine, and I had to just manage with what I got. But if you have an essence engine, then great, utilize the alchemy magic item and turn 4 into gold if you can't generate gold as quickly as others. You have ways of doing that. Like, have like a pick your mage that's going to allow you to do things that your cards aren't going to be able to do. Go after places of power because it's like, wow, I can generate all this, and I'll just buy these. So you have a lot of, versatility if your 8 cards aren't super, coherent. Because one game I played, I had dragons, and I had a dragon harness, and I had ways to place dragons for cheaper. But the other person also, like I had an aggressive 8 cards. The person I was playing against also had an aggressive 8 cards. But what it turned out to be was, this was actually kind of funny, is he had ways of actually placing dragons for free. Took him a little bit longer, but he was able to do it. So we had dragons out and creatures to attack one another, but he always had ways to ignore, because you can get cards that protect you. He had ways to protect himself from my dragons, and then I had the Tree of Life, which kept giving me life. So I just always had just life to give. And so throughout the game, I was like, okay, well, obviously attacking you is not going to help. Like, it's literally just a waste of time. So how else can I start generating ways to win? So, I mean, really, like, that's a negative I can see people having. It's not a negative I have, because nothing's hidden from you the entire game. Everything that you can possibly do in the entire game is given to you during setup. One negative I will say, it's not even really a negative, it's more just something hopeful. I want this game to have expansions. I want this game to be supported like no other, because in the game, yeah, there's you can change the places of power and stuff like that, but eventually, like, and there's not that many artifacts. Like, there's enough that, yeah, 8 cards isn't a lot, and you're going to get a different combination, but I wish, and I just want more for this game. I want more artifacts. I want more, like, creatures. I want more spells. I want more, magic items. I want more monuments. I want more ways to win. Like, endgame stuff, like secret stuff, instead of 10 points, being like, hey, I actually have this item that allows me to win this way. Like, more mages. I just want more with this game. Because I like it that much. I think that this is a very, very smart game. And to my knowledge, it wasn't a Kickstarter game, so who produced Sandcastle Games? Yeah, I looked them up. I can't think of anything that they've done. I believe Tom Lehman did Race and Roll for the Galaxy, which makes sense on the engine building aspect. I believe he helped. Either he helped or he made the Pandemic expansions. which are all kind of very thinky in their own way. So he's done quite a bit, and everything that I've played of his that he's done, I've always loved. Haven't played Race. Roll for the Galaxy is a fantastic game, and it's in my top 100 games of all time. So Res Arcana is kind of one of those games that just showed up, and I'm like, you know what? Sure, I'll see what it's about, and I think it is fantastic. I think this game is awesome, and a lot of people, another negative that some people could have is that this game is very icon heavy, and it is, like, for sure. But the player aids that they give you, the little cards, are very self-explanatory. Like, you look, and the icons, like, really make a lot of sense. Like, whenever I was teaching a game to a few friends, I was like, okay, well, they're pretty straightforward. Like, people who aren't that familiar with icons can look at it and be like, yep, I'm pretty sure I know what that means. Like, it says this component. Okay, well, this is a component, so I have to turn this, get rid of a red, and then put 2 green on this card. Like, it just makes sense. Which I cannot say for a lot of icon games. Like, a lot of icon games, you're like, oh, okay, so what does all this mean? I've never seen this one before. No, I didn't have that problem with Res Arcana. So, I mean, that's my thoughts. That's my review over Res Arcana. Like, I wanted to do a run through for it, but at the end of the day, like, a lot of it wasn't going to be seen, and it would just been awkward to actually try and do a run through for it. So, and I wanted to get this on the channel as quickly as possible. So yeah, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give Res Arcana a 9. I really, really like it, and here's the thing, there's not a lot of player interaction. Like, like, a lot of ways that you're going to mess with your opponents are through creatures and dragons that you're going to summon. It's not that thematic, really, in any way. Like, I don't really know what the theme quite is, except you're some sort of mage making stuff and using stuff to buy stuff. But a lot of your dragons are going to interact, and like, it's like, I'm going to tap this dragon, all rivals will lose 2 life. If they don't have 2 life, then they lose 2 essences for every life they don't have. So you could potentially lose 4 essences. In one game, that didn't matter. Like, it was like, okay, yeah, great, I'll get rid of him. But there are ways that you can be like, okay, well, I'll tap this and get rid of a water to ignore that. So you have ways to protect yourself. But other than that, there's really no other way. There's no stealing essences from other people. The only other one I can think, at least in the games I've played, the only other one was like the Tree of Life, for example. Like, you could tap that. I gained 3 life, but everyone else gained 1, so you can kind of help others. But you can also tap the Tree of Life to ignore a negative effect. So, like, a lot of cards have dual meanings and dual ways to do things, and I don't know. There's a lot of versatility, but I just want more. Like, I just want more cards, and it feels like with the insert that they're planning for more, because the area to hold cards is like that deep, but like all your cards are like that much. So I think that he's planning ahead and coming up with plans for expansions, which would be awesome. Hell, you don't even have to do any more essences. You could just keep those 5 and just have more cards, which is kind of what the insert is leaning towards. So yeah, like, I think it's a 9. Like, you're not getting there's no luck. I mean, there's luck in, like, hey, I'm gonna draw 3 cards, but there's ways around everything. Like, it's super slick, super smart. I love it. 9 out of 10. So that's my thoughts on Res Arcana. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you. Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this, and if you like this video, then click the subscribe button below to enjoy any video that I put out. And right next to that subscribe button is a little bell. Click that so you get notified of whenever I actually upload these videos. If you want to support the channel, you can definitely visit my Patreon page. The link is in the description below. Other than that, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful whatever time of day it is for you.